Hello, and welcome to That Girl Magic, the podcast where we explore the transformative power of wellness, self improvement, and magic. I am your host, Karinna Franco, and I'm thrilled to embark on this journey of discovery with you. Hello. I hope you are doing amazing. I hope you enjoyed also last episode. It was a nice, short, and sweet one, a little pep talky, but I really wanted to get an episode like that out. Sometimes the long ones are great, but the short ones are a little nice, short, and sweet. Today, this one might go a little longer because I wanted to talk about growing or staying the same. What I mean by that is pretty much everyone will pass through a phase where they're going to be like, no, I'm going to stay in this place. I'm going to stay in this job. I'm going to stay in this town. I'm going to stay. They stay in the toxic relationships. They stay unchallenged. They stay in the job that doesn't pay them enough, but pays them whatever they think it's enough. And they stay in this comfort zone. And I really wanted to talk about what it is like to choose the growth, to choose to take that step forward of being scared, because it is not an easy thing to do. But I wanted to talk about it because it is so necessary nowadays as a society to look further than just I'm going to do my college degree or my professional degree, and I'm going to enter a job on a company, and I'm going to stay on that company all the way until the point that I retire, being paid barely anything. And then when I retire, I'm basically finally going to enjoy my life. Like, this is the time to enjoy. It's like once I've killed myself working. And that is so wrong because that way you just stay stagnant and you stay in this perpetual mindset of just having this control, but in reality, is not control, it's just comfort. It's comforting to know what time you work every day. It's comforting to know exactly where you receive every month. But it doesn't make you feel better, it doesn't make you feel good. You might not have enough money to barely pay your bills. You might have no money to go on a vacation and see a place that you really want to see. And the reality here is by the time that you grow old, and by the time that you're retired, yes, you have the money and you have the time, but your body is not there anymore. There's this analogy where when you're young, you have the body and the time, but you don't have the money. When you're an adult, you have the body and the money, but you don't have the time. And then when you're an elder, you have the time and the money, but you don't have your body. Because the idea here is that as we get older, our body deteriorates. As we peak in our adulthood, we have less time because we're more busy. And then when we're young, we have all the time in the world, all the physical attributes, but because we don't work, we don't have the financial capability to do anything. So today I come here to challenge you and to let you know all the different zones that you can be on and how to embrace them. So we already talked about the comfort zone. You normally have a sense of control, you don't feel challenged, it's low risk, low effort, and also low satisfaction. You just feel fine. You just feel okay. You just feel like I'm good here, like I'm good. And as soon as you start stepping outside of that, you get into the fear zone. It's fearful. You fear the unknown. You're constantly complaining. You're affected by others' opinions. You have low self confidence. You make excuses. You focus on the problems and the obstacles. Like you're nitpicking at everything, are completely terrified of everything. And it's normal that when you are in this part for you to just feel like everyone's attacking you, everything's going wrong, everything is out of your control, you are scared of everything. You just want to go back to that comfort zone. You want to go back to your warm, cozy spot. But the warm, cozy spot is not going to make you go anywhere. So here's what you got to do. You got to go into your learning zone. You have to identify how you're feeling. You have to understand where that fear is coming from. Why are you feeling the fear? You need to understand where that derives from. Is it something in your ancestry? Was it something with your parents? Is it a trauma that you have? And you got to face those challenges head on. Sometimes people need to get into therapy, or they need to maybe let go of things that doesn't work for them. You need to act despite of the fear. You need to do the thing that you're scared of, even though you are scared of it. It is so scary to look at something that you really want to do and you're scared that you may fail. But guess what? Rather trying and failing than not trying at all. And guess what? If you do go ahead and do it, there's so many things that can happen. You can acquire new skills. You can develop a sense of confidence. You will increase your knowledge. You'll see new opportunities. You will see your little comfort zone just become bigger. You will feel better. You'll feel more confident. You'll feel better with yourself. You'll feel more connected with yourself just by taking that leap of faith. And the more you do it, you're going to start to go into what we call the growth zone. It is the willingness to learn. It is getting ambitious and setting your goals. You're going to have a sense of fulfillment. You're going to feel challenged. You're going to want to reach your objectives. You'll embrace the unknown. You won't be fearful of it anymore. You'll have new skills that you'll master. You'll have this sense of curiosity instead of conviction. You're not going to have this thing of like, "Oh, this is set in stone." You're going to be like, okay, but what is this about? And you're also going to find purpose. When you are in a growth mindset or in a growth zone or just in the process of growth, you're going to go through so many stages where you're going to be questioning yourself. But then as soon as you get past those hurdles, everything just feels awesome. Everything just gets embraced with a new level of just curiosity. It is scary for me. I'm in college right now. I am literally on my second week, and it is terrifying. And it's terrifying because everything's new. But that's the cool part about it. Everything is new. Everything is just so exciting and new. And I'm meeting new people, and I'm seeing new people, and I'm connecting with people. I'm connecting with my own sense of learning. I'm connecting with my own sense of responsibility. I am understanding stuff that I didn't understand before. I'm learning new things. And it makes me want to be ambitious. It makes me want to try harder. It makes me want to do more. Do more, 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 and more. And the only way to go ahead and do more is to just challenge yourself, to take that leap of faith. And this can be said for anything: jobs, careers, schooling, relationships, opportunities, traveling, ventures, anything. Maybe you have been scared of putting yourself out there for some reason. For example, I've had this conversation recently with some girlfriends. They hate dating apps. I can tell you myself, I don't like dating apps. I have never downloaded one, and whenever I did, I would delete it within 24 hours. Why? Because it doesn't feel real. It feels very like methodical. It doesn't have this connectivity. But then they're the same girls or boys or whatever that they'll go straight home. They won't go to places where people could be. They don't go to a museum or a bar or a cafe or hang out at a place somewhere. People seem so fearful of just approaching someone and making conversation. People are fearful of going up to a person and asking them an interesting question. Let me give you guys an example. Recently, I talked with one of the people that are associated with basically like a gathering for anyone in the nutrition space. And I was talking to her at the booth, and at some point I turned to her, I was like, what would be your advice looking back now as a last year student for first year like me. She was taken aback for the question. She never had a question that was so deep. And that just evolved to an interesting conversation about what I should be fearful of, what I should be aware of, what I need to be careful of, what I should do. One of the first things that she said is like, you could stay home and study all day, but I would rather see you study 2 hours and then putting yourself along with the other people. And also don't study alone. Those were two things that she told me. And I found it so interesting coming from someone on the last year. And it was so interesting to have such a deep conversation because I am someone that I love deep conversations. Deep conversations takes someone's connectivity from a 0 all the way to 100. Because when you have conversations that are deep, not only about society, but your opinions on society, and then you implement that into like daily life, it is so cool. Recently, told a girlfriend because she was like, I think I want to meet people at a museum. And I was like, then go to a museum. And if you see them looking at something, just comment on it. Just go up to them and just comment on whatever you guys are looking and then ask them why they're there. Are they in the field? Are they interested in it? And just strike a conversation. And I'm not saying this to try to like get a boyfriend or get a girlfriend or whatever. I'm literally saying connect with people. You may never even see them in your life. You may never even see them again. But just the act of socializing that will take you farther than being an introvert, stuck at home, hidden in your books, dreaming about connecting with people when you should be out there connecting with said people, growing and changing and evolving. It is not difficult if you just accept that things are not crazy. If you just accept that sometimes fear will be involved. If sometimes you will be nervous, that sometimes you will not know what will happen. But guess what? Better to do it than to not. And if you heard my episode before on the discipline versus motivation, that also comes into play. I say on that episode that motivation is a drive and discipline is the gas. If motivation is the car, discipline is the gas. And the reason for it is because motivation is that first kick to want to do it. You need to get in the car and grab the car. But then the car will only keep driving if you put gas into it. It's the same idea with growing and evolving. You'll only be able to surpass the idea of who you are by challenging the idea of who you are. I am who I am today because I challenged the idea of who I thought I was. We all change for various reasons. A relationship that we had, an experience that we had. Every single day we can be different. Every single day we can do a little better than the day before. On my Instagram, I've also talked about stuff like consistency. One of the things that we talk a lot about on the beauty space, such as like makeup, skincare, and so on and so forth, is, and I'm probably talking to someone that may have that experience, which is you go to a store, they sell you a product, and you think you're going to apply it one time, you're going to see results. No. Not only will you not see results in one day, you will not see it in a week. Very rarely you see it in a month. Most likely 3 to 6 months. Sometimes a year. Now, of course, one thing is seeing results. Another thing is stuff doesn't work or stuff makes it worse. I know for a fact that I know what works for me. But that's because I had to experiment to find it. I know for a fact that I want to be in nutrition, but I had to go through a lot to make me realize such. I know for a fact that I know who I am deep inside, the type of person that I am, but I had to love myself and believe my capabilities. If we just stay in this comfort zone of just creating this image of who we are and having the sense of control and feeling unchallenged and having everything low risk, low result, low satisfaction, we stay where we are and our life goes by being boring. And I don't mean boring as in being the boring friend. I mean your life literally being boring. Because I don't mind being the boring friend. You want to know what a boring friend is? Like the definition nowadays of a boring friend. A boring friend is that friend where I'm saying you person, you want to go out and have drinks and just live your life in a constant party, and the boring friend will go home and have 8 hours of sleep and eat a good diet and work out and focus on her businesses and her endeavors, and she will challenge herself and have a sense of fulfillment, while maybe the other counterpart just wants to have fun. But guess what? It's not just about having fun. What's the point of you going and getting smashed drunk at a party if then the next day you're going to go to your boring low income job and feel worthless? And that's what I mean. It's like, what's the point of you having these short bursts of how life could be, of this unlimitless happiness for a couple of hours when you could have it all day? When you could feel good with yourself all day, when you could feel fulfilled and have the most happiest, joyful, filling, happy life. I am someone that I've gone through so much. I had dealt with so much. And I look back at my life and I think every single one of those things taught me something that now is my basis for the reason why I do what I do. And that's what I want to come across. Do not stay in the comfort. Comfort will take you nowhere. Before we finish, here's a challenge that I want to do to you. As soon as you listen to this episode, I want you to think about something, small or big, that you're scared to do. It may not even cost you any money. You may not even need to do anything crazy. Something that you are scared of, that you know that you can do right now, and just do it. Is it quitting the job that treats you badly? Is it dumping the toxic boyfriend? Is it finally choosing to do that one course or going back to college? Is it talking to someone that you've been wanting to talk for a while? Is it finally confessing to your crush? Is it stepping up and respecting yourself against someone that isn't respecting you? Is it starting to love yourself? Is it to stop complaining? Whatever it is that you have been wanting to do, whether large or small, that you have been fearful of doing for whatever reason, do it now, right now. Just go for it. You have my permission, the universe permission, your own soul's guiding permission to just go for it. Because deep down, you know that you have been wanting to do it. So just go for it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow That Girl Magic to stay updated on new episodes. Let's unleash our inner magic and create the life of our dreams. I'll see you in the next episode.